Good morning, you guys. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. It is the 25th. Let's see, my mom's birthday was the 23rd, which was Wednesday. So, yeah, today's the 25th. I have a ortho appointment today about my hip, and I'm going to be vlogging a little bit of that, but not fully. Um, so basically, what's going to happen is I've been having I'm 28. I've been having hip issues since I was about 8 or 9 to like the earliest memory, but then I started really having really bad hip issues when I was about 11, 12. And then I could have been having hip issues before that time, but like, kid memory. So when it got bad, I started like reporting things to my doctor. But they didn't do x-rays or nothing like that. They were just like, we'll keep an eye on it. It was my neuromuscular team for my CMT anyways. Not saying that they're bad, they're great, but they never did an x-ray. Fast forward, I got pregnant with my son, my oldest, and that in itself is a story in itself. But basically, I dislocated my bad hip even more, broke some bones, some cartilage, and everything in there. And I was like 34 weeks pregnant with him. And if you guys want to hear that story, I'll give you that story. And then fast forward after I had my daughter, I just saw the mouse go across the floor. Great. Anyways, fast forward when I had my daughter, she was born and everything, and then about a year and a half, 2 years later, I was able to get. I just brought it up to my family doctor, but at the time we wasn't for my grandmother's appointment, and I was like, "Hey, look, my hip has been bothering me. It pops. I lose my balance. So mind you, like I have short memory too, so like I can't run, I can't jump. I'm gonna have joint pains, and it's like arthritis in my body, and I am very limited on the things that I can do. But it right here in my hip, like in my hip, I was like, I've been having issues, and we explained to her the situation that happened, and because she wasn't my actual doctor, like the building was like everybody knows everybody down there, but like it was my grandma's doctor, not my doctor. And anyways, I'm not blaming my doctor, but I told her the instant she was like, she was like, I'm gonna schedule a x-ray for you. She was like, I'm putting a referral, they're gonna reach out to you and call you. So like 2 days later, I got an x-ray done on my hip. They said that I had to go to ortho. So ortho started doing the hip injections, I know it, the cortisone shots. And I had bad side effects with it. Mind you, this was like 2018, okay? This was 2024. 2018, and I was like 21 or 22 at this point. No, yeah, yeah. Like I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't, like for weeks. I wasn't sleeping. I was like ravenous hungry. I know it's got steroids in it. It would like the spot would be sore for about 3 or 4 days, but I was just like angry. Like I didn't take it on the kids or anything, but I just like felt really angry and just like locked up in my jaw from just anger, and that's not me. I was like sweating really bad. I couldn't focus. I'd get confused on things, and it wasn't working. And it was like every couple of months you get it. And honestly, like after a week of the cortisone shot, it wore off. It just, no. So, fast forward to 2019, and I'm sitting there, me and Daniel were together and everything. And at this point, like I already had a year's worth of cortisone shots. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. So I got in touch with my doctor. I explained to him what was going on. My doctor at Ortho. And he said, well, we'll bring it back in. We'll discuss it. Well, at this point, like it was towards the end of 2019, early of 2020. So I get there. And this was after I had my son, because they couldn't give you shots or do anything. Like, they weren't going to do surgery, give you shots or anything like that until after, you had a kid anyway. So 2020 happened after I had my youngest, and I was ready to throat punch him, okay? Because it was like the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and I was ready to throat punch him because he was rude. Like, at this point, he was like, first of all, he had his colleague with him, and he asked me what my muscular dystrophy affected, and I was like, it affects my muscles and my nerves, and it deteriorates my body. And he goes, wrong, that's not it. And I'm like, exactly what it is. And then he said, at this point I was 175-ish, mind you, this was like 4 years ago. I was like 175 pounds. He said, and I quote, that in order for the surgery for my hip to be replaced, I would have to lose about 40 to 50 pounds. Great, I understand that. So I go to do that. Well, not do that. He's like, you have to lose 40 to 50 pounds, and we're going to need you to, you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to do an hour of running. You're going to have to do 30 minutes of walking every day. Like, this is every day. You're going to have to lift weights, do stationary, on top of taking care of your kids and everything. And I'm just like, some of those things you were asking me to do, I physically can't do anyways because of my CMT, and it physically hurts. Like, I'm already, at this point, I was already in therapy for my CMT anyways, and they even said that, like, I physically couldn't do it. So then he relies back to, now see, my CMT made my ability bad, but like, my CMT will always be bad, but my hip makes it a whole lot worse. So spending 20 minutes doing one thing, I can only do about a minute or two, and then, like, I'm done, and that's on my good days. So anyways, he then goes into, well, if you would stop eating the way that you do, eating is a factor to your health, and that's why you are as fat as you are. And I'm like, I have IBS, and because I can't physically move the way that I need to, I am very careful about how much I eat and when I eat and things, because I know that I am not physically able to be active like other people. So I do watch what I eat. And he was just like, well, if you don't lose, he said, I'll see you when you lose the weight, or in your 30s when your hip blows and you're needed rushed in for emergency surgery, but because of your weight, you're not going to recover great. And I'm just like, I need my hip taken out so that way, replaced, so that way I can be more active. Yes, my CMT is deteriorating. Yes, like, it deteriorates my muscles and my nerves and everything, but I have a better life, you know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be the greatest. I may not be like somebody that doesn't have anything wrong with their muscles and their joints and things. Like, my pinky's been curling, okay, since I was like 13, okay, but I need a life. I need to be able to move. So I walked out of there upset, crying, because I knew that my situation would get worse. So I went to my neurology appointment, my neuromuscular neurology appointment for my CMT, and I was talking to my doctor, and he goes, that is absolutely false. They can take anybody's hip out at any given weight, age, anything like that. And he said, based upon your circumstance, it needs to be taken out, and they can definitely do it. So I waited 2 years because I was trying to find another place that would do it, and the place that was going to do it didn't accept my insurance. So I bit the bullet. Basically, fast forward 2 years, I bit the bullet, and I called OrthoSensei back, and I just requested not to have the same doctor and I have a different doctor. I was told by the woman, she just asked why I didn't want to see the other one, the other doctor surgeon, and I told her, and she said, well, I'm setting you up with somebody new. This was like in 2 days. Okay, like I called Wednesday. This was for today, Friday, and this is long. But she set me up with a new doctor, and she said that if he tries to set me up with the other doctor surgeon, that I can 100% deny. And she's basically like, do not leave this appointment until you have some type of, like, you're gonna get it taken out, because I have to. It's so bad. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. So that's what I'm gonna do. You know, if they tell me no, like, I'm gonna fight for it, but I can't stay there for hours upon hours upon hours until they say yes. Like, I can't protest like a kid starving themselves at dinner time and like for 6 days because they wanted McDonald's fries, and you're like 6 hours away from the closest McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm just gonna do my best and try to do that. Lex is going with me, and because he doesn't have school on Fridays, so we're gonna go, and hopefully I get somewhere. Now, I do have court in 33 days. By the time you see this, it will probably be, it will probably be 30 or less days. I don't want to give an exact, I don't want to tell you guys an exact date on when my court is, because it's nothing major. It is life pivoting that I have been waiting for 8 years now, and 8 years, and yeah, protection of the kids. In that sense, like, I don't want to put that out there. So I have that. So what I wanted from that date, if everything goes granted and done, me and Daniel will be getting married 108 days out from that court date. So I'm going to talk to my surgeon and see, because I do know that recovery lengths are different from everybody. And I want to be able to stand and get married and do photos with everybody and not be like falling over and losing my balance and not being able to walk, or falling because I overdid it with my hip. And I want to have a great wedding. So I'm going to see if maybe even if the week after court I can, or something, set it up and get it taken out, and then that away, because like this is what we're trying to figure out. If we set it up, I have somewhat recovery length time and before we get married, and then with that I can start to heal. A couple of those weeks the kids will be out of school for Christmas break, so even though they'll be home, I won't be having to drive them when I have the restriction of not to drive them. I'm going to talk to some family members, which I don't think they'll have a problem with it, but just helping out with getting the kids back and forth to school and taking care of them. So maybe they're here, my mom picks them up, takes them to school, and then when Daniel gets home, he can, drop them off at school and then pick them up from school. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, we're playing it out. See what I'm saying? So I'm just, yeah, there's a lot to go into this. So that's the story on my hip, and I'll see you guys when I get there, whatever. All right. Okay, next day. I went to my appointment. We got there about 12:30, and my appointment was at 1:30, which was fine. I just didn't want to have to deal with the traffic and be late and everything, so they all understood. We got back there. We didn't leave. Okay, my appointment was at 1:30. We didn't leave until like 3:30. Okay. I get there. They have an x-ray of my foot. Not my foot. They have an x-ray of my hip that needed to be done. So when you come in, they take an x-ray, especially if it's been a little bit. got the x-ray done, waited again, got a room, talked to the doctors and all them, and they even said that I've had hip dysplasia since I was born. I'm guessing that because I already had the Charcot-Marie tooth, hip dysplasia was just something that came with it, because a lot of people who have Charcot-Marie tooth have hip dysplasia that they're born with, and sometimes people get it when they're older, so either way you're bound to get it. It's like a 95% chance of getting hip dysplasia. So my hip looks the same. So my hip socket, it's supposed to be like this, and then the joint goes in it. Mine is like this, and my hip is like this, and it pops in and out of place. Now, they said that I definitely need surgery, so I was all for getting surgery, but because the way that my hip is and my CMT, they had me see another surgeon that works there, so we had to go over there. We did, and he said that he was cool with doing it. They have to build me let me explain this. So they have to build me a hip socket. Okay, I'm going to call it a hip socket pocket so it makes sense. So because I don't have a hip socket, the C shape, it's like this, they're going to have to build a C shape and screw it in. And then they're going to put the socket piece that comes with the hip replacement, they're going to then put that in it. So when I say the hip socket pocket and then the hip socket. Okay, then they're going to put that in. I will be losing or gaining a couple of inches to my foot, like my length. So I don't know if it's gonna because I already have a difference. I don't know if it's gonna balance out my legs, because they're cutting it and extending the piece. Anyways, it's confusing. So yeah. But either way, I can get AFOs made, because I already get them. I can get AFOs made to accommodate that. They'll be like basically the same ones that I have, just my shoe will have a difference. If that makes sense, if I have to have a difference. Going forward with this, he was going to do it, and then he asked what happened the last time, and I told him, and he was like, yeah. Well, let me explain. So, hold on. So, he said because of my, body weight, he was going to put a spandex, not underwear, but not belly band, or not shorts. It's kind of like underwear, not shorts, not a band, but, somewhere in between, to help hold my stomach up and in. But he then, he was like, yeah, I do agree, you need to lose some weight. He said the 45 to 50 pounds is not that, but he said we're going to try to get you on some GPL1 medication, which is a shot. Now, because everything going on with my body, I'm going to see if I can get the micro dosage when I go to my doctor next Wednesday, because I had to make that appointment. So I'm going to try that. I follow up with the surgeon. My kids are playing as I do this update, but I follow up with him December 9th. So try the shots. And then he said I could just lose about 10% of my body weight, which is like 20 pounds. If I can or can't, it would be great if I can, because I need the boost so that I can heal properly and things like that. I'm just trying to think. So because originally we were talking about I would be up and good and moving, and he was wanting me to get it replaced before I get married, which I think that's what we're aiming to do. And I'm wondering if I am going to still be I'm going to start them. I'm going to start taking them, and then I'm going to get the surgery, continue them. Does that make sense? Or now is it I have to lose the 20 pounds? What? Anyways, they don't know if, well, I don't know. This is what I'm following up in December, because originally it was I'd make an appointment and then get the pre-surgery and all that. Now I gotta do the weight loss thing, so at least try it. So if my body doesn't do well with it, I'm still going through with the surgery regardless. Hopefully the weight loss meds will help me. Yeah, so advocating my body and being like, no, this has to get replaced. And they all said it. They were like, this should have been replaced years ago. So yeah, oh, they even said that the cortisone shots were like stupid and it would never work. So I wasted time taking cortisone shots, but at least I said I did them. So one more advocate for getting my hip replaced. Yeah, so I go back December 9th, and I'll be closer to home this time, which is where I usually go. So, yeah. I'll know then. Should be up and moving that day from surgery. Now, take it easy, and then slowly and surely graduate to getting bigger, getting help. Now see, walking more than 3 to 4 minutes is so painful on my body. So what I'm gonna do is, hold on. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm going to start pushing myself to walk 10 minutes on the treadmill every hour, because who's there? Nobody's outside. I'm trying to do this, but I keep getting interrupted. It's fine. So anyways, because when I get the surgery, I'm gonna have to get up every hour and walk for 10 minutes. So hopefully I can start at least training my body to do that. I know it's gonna be painful, I know, but I just gotta start trying. Will I start today? No. Will I start tomorrow? No. Reason is, tomorrow's church. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be home, so I won't be on like a treadmill where I can like hold on. So I will start that Monday after I go to my another appointment for something completely different. And yeah, so I know it's like, well, you could start today. I could start today, but let me tell you something. Yesterday, with all the driving I had to do and in and out and waiting and walking back and forth between the rooms, I just need to relax. I came home yesterday and I already knew some of the information, but I had to just relax, swallow it basically, and go from there, because now that I have to do the weight loss pills, or weight loss shots, it kind of just, it puts a step back for me, because it just, I tried the pills before. I had really bad side effects. My body does not handle medication very well. It does not handle, really, it's just not good handling things. So hopefully if I do the micro dosages, it won't throw my body out of whack. I won't feel super high and like the room is spinning, because I can't be like that when I have kids. I have to function. I have to be able to do the things I need to do. I don't need to be over a toilet throwing up because my body. I have medication anxiety because I know what my body does with medication, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it for 30 days. Yeah, I'm going to try it for 30 days and then follow up with them and be like, okay. And I weighed myself today. I'm 195.6, and we'll go from there. I know weight fluctuates, but that's what it is. All right, I'm signing off on this. I'll see you all in a follow-up to talk about it. All right, bye guys.